familiar flutter of nerves?
Oh, definitely.
That feeling like you needed to project calm and control, even if inside you were doing a little panic dance?
Absolutely. It's
Mhm.
that moment where you feel this disconnect between how you feel and how you know you need to show up.
Exactly. And that's precisely what we're diving into today. We've been looking at some really fascinating notes and a script, actually, that lays out exactly how to fake confidence like a pro.
Yeah, it's interesting stuff. So our mission for this deep dive is to really pull apart what's in this material, to
Hmm.
understand the mechanics, the why and the how behind acting confident, even when, you're feeling anything but.
Right. So, if you've ever felt like you had to put on that brave face, stick with us. Let's unpack this.
Okay.
So, right at the heart of this material is this idea that confidence isn't necessarily this fixed internal state you either have or you don't. It suggests that a huge part of what we perceive as confidence is actually, well, a performance.
That's such a key takeaway. What people see and hear, your body language, your voice, that's what they react to. They aren't, mind readers. They don't know about your inner monologue of self-doubt.
And here's where it gets really interesting, according to the notes we have. The very act of acting confident can start to influence how you actually feel inside over time.
The classic fake it till you make it.
Pretty much. It leans heavily on what's called the as-if principle.
Exactly.
Mm.
And this is where that fake it till you make it loop really kicks in. By consistently practicing the behaviors of confidence,
Hmm.
standing taller, speaking more deliberately, they stop feeling like acting.
They become more automatic.
Yeah, more automatic. That repetition can literally start building new neural pathways, leading to a more genuine feeling of confidence down the line.
Huh.
It just shows how powerful our outward actions are, not just on others, but on our own psychology too. It's almost like a practical behavioral route to feeling more self-assured.
Okay, so we get the basic idea that the external affects the internal and how others see you. But what are the actual concrete things you can do, like in the moment when you need that boost?
Right, the practical tools.
Yeah, the material we have details 5 specific actionable tricks. Think of these as your immediate confidence toolkit.
These are those little behaviors that universally signal, I've got this.
Okay, first up, and probably the most obvious one, power posture and body language. The instruction here is very specific. Stand tall, pull your shoulders back.
Chin up, that whole stance.
Exactly. And it mentions research behind this, which is fascinating.
Yeah, I saw that, the Harvard stuff.
It points to studies, mentioning Harvard research, that holding these expansive power poses can actually increase hormones linked to confidence, like testosterone.
And lower cortisol, the stress hormone.
Right. So your physical shape really does affect your internal chemistry. The simple goal is to look like you belong, like you, well, own the place.
It's potent because it works on a few levels. Physiologically, like you said, it changes your internal state.
Mm-hmm.
And socially, it just signals openness, readiness, self-possession. It's a basic nonverbal signal.
Okay, so moving from how you stand to how you speak. The next technique is slow down your speech.
Ah, yes, this is a big one.
Contrast that nervous, rapid-fire talking with the deliberate pace of someone who feels comfortable.
Yeah, people who are confident speaking aren't afraid of a little silence. They don't feel the need to fill every single second with noise.
Exactly. Articulating clearly, using pauses. It doesn't just make you easier to understand, it makes you seem more thoughtful, more in control of the conversation.
Speech pace directly impacts how authoritative you seem. Rushing can suggest anxiety, like you're not sure of yourself.
Yeah.
A slower, more measured delivery. That implies certainty, control.
Okay, technique 3 is about connection. Maintain eye contact.
Crucial.
This material makes it clear. Looking away signals insecurity, uncertainty.
While holding someone's gaze, that says, I'm engaged, I'm confident.
And it even gives a number, a practical range. Aim for around 60 to 70% of the time.
Which feels about right. Not staring, but connecting.
Yeah. And there's a great little tip in the notes, too. If direct eye contact feels too intense, maybe with someone you don't know well.
Ah, the eyebrow trick.
Yeah. Just focus on the spot right between their eyebrows. Apparently, they won't even notice the difference.
It's true. Eye contact is so fundamental for building rapport that appropriate, sustained contact builds trust, shows you're present. Darting eyes just scream uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That percentage is a good guide engaged, not aggressive.
All right, number 4 is about the words themselves. Use firm, assertive language.
Getting rid of the fluff.
Exactly. Consciously cutting out the verbal clutter, The ums, the likes, and maybe especially those unnecessary sorries.
Right, and making a choice to replace wishy-washy phrases with something more definite.
The notes give a perfect example. Instead of saying something like, ah, I think maybe we could try to,
Yeah,
you shift to, okay, here's what we're going to do.
that's incredibly powerful. Even if you're feeling uncertain inside, phrasing things decisively projects conviction.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes others more inclined to trust you, to see you as capable, which, feeds back into that perception of confidence.
Okay, and finally, the fifth practical technique, dress the part.
Ah, the external influencing the internal again.
Yeah, it explores how your clothes aren't just clothes. They actually affect your mindset.
The examples were things like, a sharp blazer, your favorite sneakers that make you feel good.
Bold lipstick was mentioned too.
Right. Anything that makes you feel ready.
The core idea is that when you look the part, when you look ready and capable, it creates this kind of psychological feedback loop that helps you feel and act more confident.
It connects to that idea of enclothed cognition. The symbolic meaning of our clothes affects how we think and perform.
Enclosed cognition.
Yeah, so choosing clothes you associate with competence can genuinely shift your mindset and behavior. It helps you step into that role.
So, okay, we've covered the physical stuff, the outward communication, but what about that nagging inner voice? The one whispering fraud, even when you're standing tall and speaking clearly.
Yeah, yes, the internal battle. That's where the material shifts to the mental game, the mental strategies.
Right. The first mental hack is pretty cool. Reframe nervousness as excitement.
Okay, tell me more.
The notes point out that the physical feelings of being nervous, the fast heart rate, maybe slightly shaky hands, are actually very similar to the physical feelings of excitement or anticipation.
The body's reaction is basically the same.
Exactly. So the strategy is to consciously choose how you label it. When you feel those physical signs, you tell yourself, okay, this isn't I'm scared, this is I'm pumped, I'm ready.
It's a deliberate mental judo move. Choosing to see the feeling through a positive lens.
Yeah.
That's a classic cognitive technique reframing. You take the same physical data, but slap a different emotional label on it. By choosing excitement over anxiety, you shift from feeling threatened to feeling challenged, which gives you a greater sense of control in the moment,
The second mental strategy involves shifting where you put your attention. Focus on the other person.
getting out of your own head.
Pretty much.
Oh.
The material suggests that real confidence isn't about being self-absorbed. It's often about making the other people feel comfortable.
And how do you do that?
By directing your attention outwards, instead of dwelling on your own nerves, you focus on asking questions, really listening, engaging genuinely with whoever you're talking to.
It pulls the spotlight off your own internal monologue.
Exactly. Away from that intense self-scrutiny that just feeds the nerves.
Right. Anxiety loves self-focus. So by directing your energy towards connecting with others, you reduce that internal focus on your own perceived flaws. And paradoxically, being less focused on yourself makes you seem more present, more engaged.
More confident.
Yeah, more confident to others.
And the third mental hack, which I found particularly interesting in the notes, have a confidence alter ego.
Ah, like a secret identity.
Kind of. A go-to persona you can step into. The material actually references Beyoncé using